Hey everyone, and welcome to the club. Today I'll be showing you how to draw Chaos from Skylanders. So we're going to start at the top of our page with the nose. So we're going to draw a curve from left to right for the bridge of the nose. And we're going to curve around, almost like a C shape on the left side. So from this point, curve around. And then on the right we'll do the opposite, going in the opposite direction. Let's draw on the tip of the nose. So in between this space and the right, we're going to draw a curve that just sort of goes inside, like that. Let's draw a bridge of the nose. So from the tip of this nostril to the right side, we're going to draw a curve going across, just like that. From here, let's draw in the inner parts of the brow. So in the center here, on the left side, we're going to curve up. On the right, we'll curve up. Let's go ahead and draw on the tops of the cheek. So from the left nostril, we're going to draw a curve going across to the left side. Just kind of bridges across like that. We'll do the same on the right side. From here, let's draw in the left eye. Now this eye we're going to draw in wide open. This side we're going to sort of close it a little bit. So right at the top of this nostril, we're going to curve up. And then we're going to round this out and bring it back down to the top of that cheek. So almost like a circle, going around and then tucking that in, making sure there's a slight overlap on the outside. Let's go to the right side and do the right eye. So from here, on the top of this nostril, we're going to curve up and out. We're going to draw a little curve for the outside of the eyeball, but we're going to leave a little gap on the upper side and the lower side. So we're going to just draw a curve like that. Let's tuck in the pupil and the iris underneath here. So we're going to draw a circle tucked in just underneath that cheek. Starting on the left, we'll just curve around like that. On the top left side, we're going to draw a circle for a highlight. And then we're going to draw another circle underneath the highlight for the pupil. I'm just going to tuck that in underneath. We'll color that in black. Let's draw the iris and pupil on the right side, but we're going to tuck this in on the inside of the eye. So on the inside here, we're going to start at the bottom. We're just going to draw a curve, a small little curve for the highlight. Over towards the right, we're going to draw another curve, and then color that in black for the pupil. And then just further out, we'll draw another curve for the outside of the iris. Let's draw a couple curves at the top for the brow. So above the left eye here, we're just going to draw a curve going in. On the right side, we're going to drop this down a little bit lower and go across like that. Let's go ahead and draw in the mouth. So just below the nose, we're going to draw a curve from left to right. It's going to arc. So it's going to go higher in the middle, then down on the right side. We're going to curve up the sides of the mouth. So from here, we're going to curve up towards the eye. On the right, we'll do the same thing. Now we're going to draw a little bracket on the ends. So on the end on the left here, we're just going to draw a curve like that. On the right, we'll do the same thing. Now I want to connect those ends for the bottom of the mouth, coming down with a curve and back up on the right side. Starting on the left, we'll curve down to the bottom of the mouth. Now I want to bring this back up to that point there. So curving all the way back up. Let's layer in some teeth. So from these 2 points here, we're just going to draw 2 short lines coming down. We're going to connect the bottoms of those lines with a curve for the bottom of the teeth, going from left to right. Now we want to separate the teeth. So we're going to start on the left side and just draw these vertical lines evenly spaced out all the way to the right until we run out of space. Let's draw in some fangs along the bottom. So on the left side here, we're going to draw an upside down V. On the right, we're going to draw 2 of them. So down here, we'll draw 1, and then over a little bit, we'll draw a second one. Then we're going to layer in the tongue behind here. So from just above the fang on the left, we're just going to curve up towards the teeth and then over the fangs on the right. Let's color the inside area in black. Let's move down below the mouth and just draw the bottom lip. So we're just going to draw a little curve along the bottom. Now we're going to draw on the chin. So just underneath the mouth, we're going to draw a little curve that goes from the side of each side of the mouth. So on the left side here, we're going to curve down below the lip, then back up on the right side. Now we're going to overlap this on top of the cheeks, going around and up towards the bottom of the eyes. So on the left side here, we're going to step down, curving out, then just up beside the cheek on the left. We'll step down on the right, curve up and out, just beside the cheek on the right. Now from here we can draw on the top of the head. So he's bald, so we're going to draw almost like a circle going around the eyes up to the top of the head and back down on the right side. So starting on the left, we're going to curve around the eyes, and we want to bring this up pretty high to the top of the head, and then I'm going to bring this back down on the right side, just meeting up with the point right there. Let's layer in the ears behind the head. So just beside the eye on the left, we're going to go over to the side of the head, curving out, and then I'm going to pull this back in behind that cheek. For the inner ear, we're just going to draw a C shape right inside, and then at the top of that C, we're going to curve up and out. Let's do the same thing on the right. So right beside the right eye, right here, we're going to curve out, and we're going to curve back in behind the cheek. Again, we're going to do a backward C on the inside, and at the top, we'll curve out. Let's add some detail to the face. So we're going to start with that insignia in the center of the head. So at the very top, it's almost like an upside down V, and then we'll connect the bottoms with a curve, a slight curve. We're going to draw two triangles on the side pointing inwards. So towards the left, we're going to go up in an angle, come straight down, and then we'll meet up with the inside. We'll do the same thing on the right, but we're going to flip this over. Starting inside, we'll go up, come down, and then we'll connect those ends with a straight line. There's three little raindrop looking shapes in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start on the left side here, curving around, and then back to a point. On the right side, we'll do the same thing. So curving out, and then back to that point. This side, this one's sort of upside down, so we're going to start at the bottom, curving towards the middle, and then back down. Let's add in the face markings around the eyes. So we're going to start with the one on the left. So starting right where the eye meets the nose, we're going to curve up and just taper out just to the top of the eye here. From this point, we're going to curve up to this brow line, so curving up. And we're going to do another curve going to the top, just to the side of the head there. Now we want to bring this down along the side of the head. So just following the curve of the head to right about there. We're going to curve in and down. And we're going to curve around the eye. And then we're going to bring that right in towards the eye. Let's color that whole area in black. Let's do the bottom edge now. So from this point in the cheek, we're going to curve down the cheek, just following the same curve as the side of the face. We're going to pull this back up towards the eye, and then we're going to go across the cheek, just below it, going across to right about there. And we'll do a hard turn, straight line right in beside the nostril. Let's color the bottom area in black. Now if you look, you can actually thicken up the side of the eye here. So I'm just going to go across and just thicken that side up. Let's do the same thing on the right side. So we're just going to follow the top of the eye. So starting right above the nostril, we're going to curve out. From here we're going to curve up to that brow line, and we'll curve up again, up to the top, sort of trying to get to the same height as we have on the left. From here we're going to curve down, so we're almost like mirroring what's happening on the left side. We're going to curve down and in. We'll go out. Now from here I want to curve down in towards that upper cheek right there. We're going to color the upper area in black. Now let's work our way down the side of the face. So from here we're going to curve along the side down to the bottom. We're going to curve back up underneath the eye. Now we're going to follow the eye line across, and then we're going to go up in an angle towards the nostril. Let's go ahead and color that area in black as well. Now with the body, I'm going to have the body slightly turned over towards the right. I'm going to have one arm out holding a fireball. This side's going to be on the hip. So we're going to start with the inner side of the cloak first. So starting up here beside the ear, we're going to curve across the cheek and then down. So up here, curve in towards the face, curving in, and then just down. I want to make this the length of the body here. Under here, we're going to draw in the neck. So we want to start underneath the chin, curving down, and then back up underneath this side. We're going to draw a little wrinkle here, a little curve like that. Let's work our way on this side. So underneath this cheek, we're going to curve in the opposite direction. Curving in, and then down. Let's finish off the right side before we get to the left. So this curve is actually going behind the head. It's going to swirl around the ear and then back in. So we're going to start beside the ear here, curving up and out. We're going to pull it in, and then just taper down somewhere along this line. From here, we're going to draw on the outside of the cloak. So right about here, right in line with that ear, we're going to curve down and out. So we're kind of getting wider as we get down towards the bottom. Now we want to show some folds on this side. So from this point, I'm going to curve up, sort of aiming towards that point. But right here, I'm going to curve upwards, just falling in between these two lines here. Now with this end, I just want to pull it in behind this line and slightly higher than that point, just to make it look like it's folded. Let's go back up here. We're going to draw the arm on the hip. So right here, draw a curve going out. We go back around halfway along this curve and curve up. From that same point, I'm going to curve in the opposite direction up behind the body. Now we're going to draw the outside part of the arm. So right here, I'm going to curve out to the elbow. This is going to come down the forearm and then back in behind. So let's curve down and towards the left, so curving this way. From here we're going to draw in the cuff. So we're just going to aim underneath here. And then for the hand, this is quite simple. We're going to start underneath this cuff. So we're going to start up from that point, curving in towards the body. We're going to step up a little bit and just draw a little hook. I'm going to go back to that starting point and just swirl around that hook in behind the body there. Now with this arm, because it's sort of on top of the rest of this cloak, I'm going to have to draw on this arm first. So right here is where I'm going to locate the shoulder. So this shoulder is here, this one's going to be here. So we're going to start with a curve, just to start off the arm. From here we're going to have the arm curving towards the hand. So from this top we're going to step down and curve the arm out, like that. We're going to step down here, leave a little overlap, so we're going up from the bottom and curving down. Let's connect those 2 points with a curve of the sleeve. So curving in and then down. Now we can go ahead and finish off this collar. So like we did on the right, we curved around. We're going to curve this around this arm. Curving around and then in. This is going to come down this way. So behind this arm, we're going to continue this line, going down and then out. Now, like what we did with the fold in the cloak, we're going to do the same thing on this side. Starting here, we're going to curve out. We're going to pull this back up, just following that same curve of the sides of the line here. We're going to step up from that point and draw another curve going across. And pull this back up. In between these two lines, we go up. Now from this point, I just want to pull that in behind this line here and higher than the corner, like that. In the bottom here, we just want to show the inside cloak. So starting on the side, we're going to step up from the bottom, curving. And do that one more time, curving to the opposite side. Now this center line, I'm just going to pull it straight up in between these two curves like that. Now we've got the body, let's finish off the hand here. So I'm going to have the hands and the fingers wrapped around like this. So what we're going to do is I'm going to start from this corner of the sleeve, and curve down the bottom of the hand, curving up, and then curling it back down like that. We want to do a little wrinkle in the fingers. So we're going to step up from that point and curve down. Let's start layering in the fingers this way. So up on the finger right about here on the side, we're going to curve out, and we're going to do a hard turn up, and then we're going to pull it back down. Let's do a little wrinkle here. So we're going to step up and just pull that down, just like we did that with that first finger here. Now we're going to do one more finger on this side. Stepping up to the side of this finger, curve up, and then we're just going to pull this right back down behind that finger like that. Now the back side of the hand, this thumb, we're going to draw in a curve first. Okay, so we're right from here, curve, over, we're continuing this curve like this. Now we want to curve the thumb back. So from this point we're going to curve up. We're going to round this thumb out, curving back around like this. Now we want to draw the palm. So we're going to step in and curve in behind the fingers. I want to draw a little bit of the palm line here. So we're going to come right about halfway along this curve of the sleeve and curve across like that. We also want to do the same with the other side. So this is going to actually curve right in behind. We can color that area in black. Let's add in a few fingernails. So simply all we need to do is just draw just ovals at the tips of the fingers. I'm just going to draw 3 ovals, 1 on each finger. The final step is the big fireball. So we start at the bottom and curve out towards the left, up and in, and then just flare it out. We'll do the same thing on this side. Continuing around, in, and then flaring it out. Let's go back to this side. I'm going to curve it in. Now we're going to curve in the opposite direction, curving up. We're going to do a little swirl to the top of the flame, going around, and then going back towards the right. Let's swirl this back down, going down and up. Now I want to bring this back down to this point, so curving in towards the left, then down. Then I'm going to connect those 2 points with a curve. It's a very simple fireball. And that's pretty much it. There we have it. There's Chaos from Skylanders. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.